Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the INDYCAR series on Project Cars 2. This is round 5 from Texas Motor Speedway. This is race 2. So we'll see what happens here. Blakeney's on pole again. Blakeney, a very good qualifier around this circuit. He's on pole position from Bidzster in second. Then it's Johnny McMullen behind him. Right behind him, in fact, there. Bradders in the blue and white car there in 4th. Then it's Gummy Bear in 5th. Neil in 6th. Keith gets 7th. They got 7th in qualifying, and Stevie 8th. Not a good qualifying session for him. So let's get on with the action then, guys, as we get ready for lights out here at Texas. Off we go, and everyone gets away. And then down towards the first bit. Oh, Johnny McMullen and Blakeney go towards the wall and bang! Both of them will go towards the wall and take each other into the wall. Bidzster's in the lead then. Stevie's off. Neil's off. Johnny McMullen and Keith's off. It's all happened at once. There we are, further back. Keith goes spitting back into the wall with Johnny there, and they're both backwards. Stevie resumes in 6th place there after getting caught up in it as well. So all happening here on this first lap, and we're already through the first lap already. Bidzster and Bradders again close together. Gummy Bear slices in front of Blakeney there. Very close between them two yellow cars. There they are on the oval bit there, on the banking. Close together. Then we've got Bradders and Bidzster very close as well. Bradders right behind Bidzster now, pressurising him already, and we're only on lap 2. Right behind him. And then we've got Gummy Bear, Blakeney, Neil Farmack in 5th. Stevie is 6th. Then we've got Johnny McMullen and Keith further back. So it is Bidzster versus Bradders for the lead of this race. Let's go on board with Bradders, see if we can keep with Bidzster here. Into turn 2, banking, flat out on the throttle. It's all about how you place the car and the lines you take, and oh, very close to the wall there from Bradders, very close indeed. Meanwhile, Blakeney's fell off the back of Gummy Bear. He's gone backwards a little bit there, so he's lost the draft. Neil's trying to close up to these boys as well in the other AJ Foyt car. And Bradders just trying to stick with Bidzster, trying to see if he can just stick in that toe. Gummy Bear trying to get closer to Bradders' toe here. So it could end up being a 3-way battle for the lead, and if they can bring Blakeney along, it would be 4. So good stuff here. Blakeney there in the background there, just kissing the grass, just clipping the grass a little bit, but so you can get away with that. We don't want to try that too much, because if you experiment too much with it, you are going to go backwards and make a mistake. But Bidzster there in the lead, half a second in front of Bradders. Lap 5 out of 90, so remember you got up to lap 88 to do your pit stop as Gummy Bear. I think there was a bit of lag there from him, but he's catching Bradders. He's very close to catching Bradders here. Let's go on board with Gummy Bear. Take a wide line, go down for the way out, get a good run onto the straight in the draft as well. Obviously Gummy Bear, the American, obviously taking good lines here. Obviously a bit of lag there because the car jumping about a little bit, but all's well. There's Blakeney a bit further back. Neil. He's actually catching up to Blakeney as well. He's in the draft of Blakeney, so he's catching up. Stevie's trying to catch up to these boys. Then we've got Keith, and Johnny McMullen he's disappeared. He's disconnected from the race. He's done something because he's just not around. So he's nowhere to be seen. So Johnny McMullen then disconnects from the race or retires from the race, whatever. So we'll don't know quite what that was about, but we'll see what that was about next time. But we've got Gummy Bear close onto the back of Bradders. I hope Johnny McMullen didn't disconnect just because he had a bad few corners. If he did, then he'll be receiving a 1-race ban for rage quit. So, or if they're just quitting. So, unless you've got a suitable excuse, then you will receive a 1-race ban, because we don't like quitters here in LPB Racing. We like people to just, even if they've had a bad race, just keep going to the end. So Gummy Bear right behind Bradders now. Gummy Bear right behind him, and also we've got a good battle further back because Neil's right behind Blakeney as well. We'll try and keep an eye on both these battles because the outside cameras can't keep track of the cars. Again, first class quality of Project Cars replay is not. We're just going to stick with a few onboards. So Gummy Bear closing up to Bradders. And Bidzster just trying to get as close as he can. Very bumpy that section there, onto the straight, trying to get close in. But look, Bradders has closed Bidzster right in as well. And Neil Farmack is still pressurising Blakeney. Bradders is right close behind Bidzster. Let's go on board with Bradders. There he is. There's Bidzster in front. The light glowing on the back of the car. into turn 1. And Gummy Bear's right behind him now, goes wide, goes high, tries to get a good run onto the straight. Let's go to the outside. Side by side almost now. Trying to go around the outside. Quick look back to Neil Farmack and Blakeney, and Neil Farmack is side by side with Blakeney as well. Here's where the action is. Neil Farmack goes on the inside of Blakeney, gets through, takes the position. Will Blakeney try and fight back? We'll see in a minute. Gummy Bear having a go at Bradders still, can't quite make it. Blakeney then until they come to Shaw. Neil's in the wall. Neil's in the wall. Neil's just, he's recovered it, but it was letting sparks fly there, so it must have gone too wide into the corner, and it just spat him up into the wall. But he was very lucky to recover that. As now the leaders are coming up to lap Keith, and Bradders is right back. Bradders, he's got Gummy Bear all over the back of him as well. Keith lets Bidzster go there. Keith lets Bidzster go. There we are, there's Bidzster going through. Now there's the others, there's Bradders, and Keith gentlemanly gets out of the way of all of them. Oh, even puts himself in the wall, but Gummy Bear closes up to the back of Bradders now. That's looking close. And Gummy Bear right behind him now. All in a line, lap 14 of 90. We've still got ages to go in this race, and it's already still close. It's brilliant. And now Gummy Bear just thinks, shall I take the draft from Bidzster or take the draft from Bradders? But Bradders, hats off to him, doing a fantastic job on these ovals. Really loving this oval work from Bradders, and Gummy Bear gets a good run on the outside. We're on the outside of him, we're very close indeed, we're very close to touching into the corner. There's Bradders on the inside, and he folds backwards, but he's on the inside line. There's Gummy Bear on board with Bradders now, and he goes right round the outside of him, takes the faster line round, and now he's in the draft with Bidzster. Bradders down to 3rd. So Gummy Bear then now ahead, he'll try and start attacking Bidzster. The car hopping a bit, that's just the lag from the game, so just a little bit of lag, but it's all good. Bradders closes. You see the cameras can't even keep up with the cars. It's the camera just tracks very late. So they need to sort of, I think, start pairing up with the Gran Turismo for replay quality, because Gran Turismo replays are fantastic. But Project Cars, hopefully they'll get there in time. They focused on the car physics a lot and the simulation side. They just need to work on the graphic side and the replay quality. But they'll get there in time. There's Keith at the back, trying to look at where Keith is. There he is. He's actually sticking on Bradders now, so sticking on Bradders for a draft, which might actually help him close up to Stevie in the long run. So if he can keep in this draft, that'll be good for him. Keep with the leaders. So there's Bidzster in front with Gummy Bear following suit in the draft. Can't really make any major inroads into Bidzster here, so Bidzster obviously pulling a few fast laps out, just trying to work the perfect line and see what he can do. Is there anyone in front of Bidzster to take a draft off? No, there isn't. So Gummy Bear has got to try and stick with Bidzster best he can. Bradders there in 3rd. Not doing too bad there, well done to him. And then we've got Blakeney, he's trying to close up to these front runners as well. Neil Farmack, he's not far off the back of Blakeney after having that incident on this very corner where he went up to the wall and started scraping the wall round. But luckily this time, none of that drama this time. Stevie in 6th. He's doing good. Keith is the only car that's been lapped so far, because Johnny McMullen disconnected from the race, so he's gone from the race. So Keith then just trying to stick with Brad as best he can, going a bit wide there, almost in a slide, and just trying to stick with the Bradders as draft to try and stick with him. Gummy Bear still close behind Bidzster. He's a bit closer now than he was before, but still he can't quite get close enough to make the draft work to actually get past him. He's closing now though. You can see it visually getting closer, but then into the corner. Bidzster just looks like he's got the perfect line around these corners, and Gummy Bear going very wide there to get a good run out onto the straight, but he's got to start thinking, is that line going to start compromising him? He might have to start trying to use different lines. Bidzster obviously really much favouring the inside line. Gummy Bear obviously favouring the outside line, but still just about as fast as each other. But I think Gummy Bear without the draft would start falling back, so we'd have to see what he's going to do in the long term. And this time Bidzster goes a bit wider, but not too wide, but then he goes back down to the inside. Gummy Bear, very, very dangerous, his line going up towards the wall like that. But again, if you feel comfortable doing it, then why not? But it is a bit of a weird line, and it is very risky, because like now you're going wider and wider and wider. It flattens out, and you're really toying with the wall on the outside. but still very close for the lead. Less than 3/10 of a second separating the two leaders. There's Gummy Bear going for that high line again. He actually did spark the wall that time, so getting close as we look at Bradders with still got Keith in tow, trying to pull him along. So good for Keith, but unlucky for Bradders. He's actually obviously he's for quite a few laps now. He's actually lost the draft from the front runners. And Blakeney then is slowly being caught by Neil Farmack as well. Neil Farmack now within a second of Blakeney, so he's closing the gap slowly. Maybe a tenth every couple of laps or a tenth a lap. So closing up nice and steadily. Meanwhile, Gummy Bear is right on the back of Bidzster now. He's closer than he's ever been. Over the line. You blink and you miss it. Into turn one. Bidzster with the lead in the black AJ Foyt car. Gummy Bear in the yellow Team Penske Chevrolet. He's Stevie's teammate. And he's challenging Bidzster for the lead. Bidzster's won every single race this season, bar one race, which was Indianapolis GP. Race 2, which TY won. TY with a good win there, but unfortunately TY not able to make this race tonight due to work commitments. But TY will be back hopefully for next round at Road America, which will be some fantastic racing at Road America. Into the last corner out of it, and both cars still very close together, still nose to tail. But Gummy Bear still can't find the way past Bidzster. Bidzster holding him off very well as Bidzster then goes wide. Gummy Bear goes on the inside. He's just about on the inside. Gummy Bear takes the inside line. He's still on the inside, but he's not now. He has to back off out of it, and he goes for his wide line again. So Gummy Bear couldn't quite get alongside, and Bidzster just edges ahead. Well, hats off for Gummy Bear for having a go. Let's see if we can have another go into here. Not quite yet. Let's go on board with Gummy Bear again. There we are, on board. Let's go cockpit camera. Let's go from the head view. This is how close it is. This is what the drivers see into the first corner. Sorry, second corner. Sorry, looking at the gear thing, it said first. So, but yeah, second corner. And it's closing. Looks like he might have a go here. Bidzster then just sticks on his normal racing line, because you can't really defend on an oval very easily. You've just got to time the draft to perfection and see if you can just stick on your line. You can defend to a point, but the thing is, on an oval you can still go around the outside of someone quite easily. So we'll see what Bidzster can do here in defence. But we're also Gummy Bear on good attacking mode. Very steady with the steering as well as we go close to the wall. Very close to the wall indeed. In fact, he just hit the wall there. And he's lost a bit of time, but he's right back in the draft. And he's not, look now, he's actually not going as wide. He's picking up Bidzster's line a little bit, which is actually helping him go faster. So good job there by them. As we look at Bradders back in third, Blakeney fourth. Blakeney's close right up to Bradders, so Bradders must have made a mistake somewhere. Bradders must have made a little mistake, and he's gone back into the hands of Blakeney, and also Keith's getting pulled along by these boys as well. So Keith will appreciate the draft. But Blakeney closing on Bradders there. Into the first corner, actually the gap is visually going down. You can see it there, so Bradders not feeling too comfy here. Obviously probably made a couple of mistakes. Neil Farmack trying to keep up with these boys as well. But meanwhile, back to Bidzster and Gummy Bear in the lead. Bidzster versus Gummy Bear. Gummy Bear again going for that wider line. Lap 32 of 90 now, so we're not too far off of halfway distance. We're not too far off it, but again, a few more laps to go yet as we go round turn 2. Bidzster hugging the inside, loving the inside line. Gummy Bear loving the outside line. Both still nose to tail. Gummy Bear could go for a move here, but Bidzster keeps to the inside. He's quite happy taking that inside line, but Gummy Bear obviously not liking the inside line and sticking high. But that's not going to help him to try and overtake him. He's going to have to get a killer run if he's going to try the outside line. Gummy Bear's car just hopping a little bit there. Meanwhile, we've got a good battle here as Bradders gets passed by Blakeney. So Bradders in the draft then gets caught by Blake. And Blake goes through into third place. So Bradders then hopefully can stick with Blakeney and see if we can get past again. Looking for the inside line. He's going for the inside line. And can't quite do it though. Can't quite get close enough. Nose to tail. As Gummy Bear then goes 7/10 off Bidzster. So he must have gone really wide and brush the wall. That's my guess with him taking those wide lines. That's the risk that you take. It's a 7/10 gap, but meanwhile between Blakeney and Bradders it's only a 3/10 gap, but Bradders is going backwards. He can't stick with Blake. So Blake goes through into third position. Neil Farmack trying to close up on these boys. Where there he is. So there's the group in front of me. You can just see him entering the next corner. That's the group he's trying to catch. So he's doing the best he can. Stevie's on his own in this race. He's in 6th place in the second Team Penske Chevrolet. He's in 6th place, and Keith obviously really enjoying this draft in 7th with all the other guys around him. And Gummy Bear's closed up on Bidzster again, so obviously up the car hopping around. So Gummy Bear's internet not looking like it's the most stable, which is obviously a worry, because if you disconnect and it's like having a mechanical failure, so it's a DNF. But we'll hopefully he'll be able to stick to the end of the race. But his car is hopping around a lot with the lag, so might be something worth looking into, Gummy Bear. As Bradders is now ahead of Blakeney, so Blakeney must have made a mistake there. And Keith's looking to go through as well as Blakeney then. Yeah, he must have hit the wall because he's gone slow. Where is he? There he is. Blakeney must have brushed the wall or something because he's gone slow, and Bradders now takes back third position. And Gummy Bear's on the inside of Bidzster. He's passing him. He's on the inside, but Bidzster carries the speed around the outside. There he is, we can see him. Let's go on board with Bidzster. There he is, there goes Gummy Bear, straight through. And now we're going back to the inside. Bidzster doesn't give up without a fight. Oh, because it's experiments with the grass, but just lifts off because he doesn't want to pass him on the grass. That's not fair. So Bidzster then gets passed by Gummy Bear. Let's see if Bidzster can fight back. Meanwhile, Bradders and Blake, they're still very close. 1/10 of a second between them lot. Keith has got a bird's eye view of this battle as well. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. But Bidzster with Gummy Bear in front now. He's tried for 39 laps. He's now in front. So it's lap 40. Gummy Bear in the lead of the race then. As Bidzster starts sliding a little bit and just taking the line down the inside, Gummy Bear's car starts hopping around due to the lag. No one's decided to pit yet. So not quite that time yet as Bradders and Blake. Blake's in front of Bradders again, so Bradders looking to try and keep close. Bidzster trying to keep close to Gummy Bear as well, as the camera can't keep up from the outside, but we'll try and see if it can anyway. There's Bidzster. Going to the inside. Trying to get into the draft. Remember, Gummy Bear favours those outside lines, so the inside line will be a good way for Bidzster to get through. Right close behind, almost sliding the car out at 220 plus miles an hour. Towards the first corner we go. Bidzster goes to the... No, he doesn't. He's right behind him, literally almost pushing him along. As now he goes to the inside because Gummy Bear takes that wide line, compromising Gummy Bear again. As Bidzster goes to the inside and retakes the lead of the race. Gummy Bear to the outside, and that outside line is not working out for Gummy Bear because it's just making it too easy for Bidzster to get past. He needs to start trying to take that inside line if he can. Meanwhile, Blakeney and Brad are still very close to each other. Keith still with a bird's eye view of that battle, and Neil trying to close up to all three of them, but the gap still remains the same. Gummy Bear then still behind Bidzster. Still taking that wider line. I wonder if he's just not comfy taking that inside line. The car should be set up for it, but oh, here they are. They're coming up to some traffic now. Who's that they're coming up to? It's possibly Stevie. Oh, see again, Gummy Bear. That line makes him touch the wall there. It is Stevie that they're closing up to. So the two leaders in the draft drafting each other. Two cars go faster than one, and they are closing on Stevie here. Gummy Bear then gets in the draft, closes up. Closing, but again, can't get close enough to start making a move. Back to Bradders and Blake. Bradders is fourth, Blake is third. Lap 45 of 90. Halfway into this race. We go round the second corner, onto the start-finish straight. Brad is still he's still sticking with him, but was that a car in the pits I saw there? Keith's in the pits, so Keith in the pit lane then for his pit stop. There he is, he gets going, so Keith decides, right, okay, now's a good time to pit. I've had some draft for a few laps, let's get some new tyres and see what we can do. See where we come out. He can afford to take the gamble because he's that far, he's quite far back, so we'll see what he can do as Bidzster then still keeping off Gummy Bear, as Gummy Bear still again takes those wider lines. And they're catching up to Stevie, which will not help Gummy Bear because he'll know now Bidzster's getting a draft as well as him. So, well, it's sort of good news and bad news, because A, he gets a double toe, but B, twice the turbulent air, which makes it even harder to turn. So we'll see what happens here as Gummy Bear goes to the outside, Bidzster goes to the inside. Into turn 1, Bidzster holds on again, because again, Gummy Bear goes wide. Story of the race. They're both catching up to Stevie. The nose to tail stuff this. Let's see where Keith's come out. Keith's come out on his own, I think. There he is on his own. So Keith's come out on his own. Let's see what he can do on these new tyres then. There's Bidzster and Gummy Bear approaching lap 50. We're on lap 49 now. You see Gummy Bear's car hopping around because of the lag. Absolutely nose to tail. Round the last corner. Catching up to the back of Stevie now. Let's go on board with Bidzster to see how close he is to Stevie. There's Stevie on Gummy Bear. There's Bidzster. Gummy Bear doesn't go as wide that time, which is good because it actually helps his line. If he can do that every lap, then he'll be able to stick a lot closer to Bidzster. I mean, if not pass him. Very close indeed, approaching Stevie. There's Bradders catching up to Blakeney again. So all them very close as well. And what's going to happen here with the traffic? Remember, there's no blue flags on an oval. So Bidzster enjoying the draft from Stevie, very much so. And he goes to the outside of him, trying to pass him. Stevie trying to run his own race as well. And then Bidzster goes to the inside. And is he through? Yes, he is. He's through on Stevie. So Bidzster gets past Stevie there, runs a bit wide. Stevie's going to go back to the inside line. Bidzster goes wide to give him space. And they are back. I know they're battling each other, but Stevie's a lap down. But obviously wants to try and keep the best pace he can now. Gummy Bear could capitalise from this, but Bidzster goes to the inside. Stevie goes to the inside. Bidzster goes to the outside. Gummy Bear's thinking, which side do I go? Into the turn 1. Bidzster's now on Gummy Bear's high line. And Gummy Bear hits the wall. He's lost it. Finally, that outside line bites him in the backside, and he goes right around. So not good there for Gummy Bear. Right round he goes, and he's rejoining there, but he's lost a lot of time. There goes the battle in Blakeney and Bradders. But Bidzster now has got a clear road in front of him. He's got Stevie behind him. I'm sure Stevie will try and take as much draft as he can. So Gummy Bear then back down to 4th place as Blakeney and Bradders get promoted up 1 position. And I think Gummy Bear, yeah, he's coming to the pits because obviously the tyres will now be finished after that sideways action. So Gummy Bear then in the Penske Chevrolet comes into the pits, stops at his pit box, lags, and then stops at his pit box somewhere down here. He's just driving down the slow lane, so he'll stop somewhere. Or has he missed his pit box? Has he missed his pit box? I hope he hasn't. I think he has. Yes, he's going back out to the pits. So Gummy Bear, then that's where that little bit of lag was. He actually missed his pit box. So Gummy Bear is going to have to come out the pits again and go round. So Gummy Bear, that's his race in the bin. So obviously he just completely missed his pit box. He didn't call for the pit stop, and because his pit crew went out, he couldn't see where they were, and obviously he's not able to do his pit stop. So he's going to have to go round a lap and then come into the pits again. Thank God it's not a very long lap, but also it's quite bad because with it being a short lap, everyone can lap him quite a lot of times. So Gummy Bear then ruins his race as Neil Farmack comes into the pits then. Few people pitting now. So Neil into the pits then. Gummy Bear just goes through Neil there. Okay, that's weird, but you should really peel off into your pit box. Gummy Bear makes sure he gets in his pit box this time, and then he gets served. And Neil Farmack goes out ahead of him. So Neil Farmack coming out the pits there as well. Bidzster with Stevie right behind him still, so Bidzster in the lead with Stevie still following him, just obviously wants that draft. Stevie's in 4th place on track, Blakeney 2nd, Bradders 3rd. He's coming into the pits now. He's doing that thing where they go onto the inside of the oval. He's into the pits. Slows it down for the line. He hits the pit lane cone, so I don't know whether that's going to be a penalty or not for him, but Bradders, and he's in his pit box, he's all done, he's all sorted. Stevie takes third place, obviously behind Bidzster, because Bradders is in the pits. Where's Neil Farmack rejoined? Can't really see around him very much, but he's definitely in 5th place. Keith now up to 6th place. Oh, Gummy Bear's spun again! Gummy Bear's spun again, it's all going downhill for Gummy Bear. So not good for him, he's spun again, and he's down in 7th place, but not good for Gummy Bear there. And Biz has been passed by Stevie's, but I'm sure Biz will be quite happy to stick behind Stevie and sit in the draft if he can. He goes wide and then goes back down to the inside. So pit stop's happening at the minute, so everyone went a bit topsy-turvy until we all pit. Bradders has pitted as well, he's just coming out the pits there. Round the last court, round the first corner, and then rejoins at the top where the hash marks are. There they are. Now we can rejoin the track safely. So Stevie, Blakeney and Bidzster are yet to pit. There's Stevie, he's following Keith. Where's Bidzster gone? Bidzster's in the pits now. So Bidzster then decided now's the time to pit from the lead of the race. Obviously battling with Stevie and that, thinks, right, okay, let's just get some clean air, let's see what we can do. So now Blakeney takes the lead of the race temporarily until he does his pit stop. So Blakeney and Stevie yet to pit. Stevie's quite happy to stay out because he's behind Keith, enjoying a nice little draft while he can. Down the back straight we go, in behind Keith. Let's have a look on the roof cam. So we've got Bidzster coming down the pit lane here. There's Bradders, he's coming up to the lap, so there we are. There goes Neil Farmack, his teammate. Bidzster going out the pit lane, keeping to the inside. And then you get to the hash marks there, and now you can rejoin the track smoothly. We've got anyone around him? Let's see, there's Stevie going, oh, he rejoins behind Stevie again for a bit more draft, so that's good. And you got any cars behind him? Yep, Keith's behind him as well, so he's come out in a nice bit of a draft, which is good. So Bidzster then he's quite good with the traffic. Bidzster obviously judged that to perfection to get out and get a draft from Stevie. Also he's got Keith behind him as well, pushing him along, because 2 cars in the line go faster than 1. Blakeney then is in the pits. Blakeney in the pits, so Stevie's the only car not to pit so far in this race. So Blakeney coming down the pit lane then. He's obviously done his pit stop already. Bidzster will take the lead in a moment as Blakeney comes down towards the pit exit. There he goes on lap 63. Bidzster's about to start lap 64 in a moment. He's just on the back straight. So Stevie, the only car on track not to pit yet. We will see eventually when he does, but he's got until lap 88 to do so. Best battle on track so far is Bradders versus Neil, and that's the gap. Neil Farmack there closing up onto the back of Bradders, so Bradders in 4th, Neil in 5th. Neil closing, so obviously he likes these new tyres he's on. And, nice fresh tyres, can be able to get some more pace down. Bradders goes very wide there, takes the Gummy Bear line. Speaking of Gummy Bear, he's back in 7th place now after messing up his pit stop. So he obviously missed his pit box the first time round because he didn't call the team and missed his pit box, and they had to make another pit stop. Then eventually found where they were, and Gummy Bear back down in 7th place then, so not good for him. But meanwhile, Neil Farmack right on the back of Bradders here. Bradders then under pressure from Neil Farmack. Neil got pushed wide there in the draft of Bradders' car. Behind him, Bradders goes to the inside, not letting him through that easy. Neil Farmack has to lift off. You hear him go down a gear. He just got too close, too fast there, reeled him in too quick. And then he's lost some more time again, so he's got to try and build that gap down again. So there's Bradders. And Blakeney's in 2nd place. 3rd place. So the graphic just updating itself there. Bidzster in the lead of the race, then he's on lap 6. Well, not in the lead, sorry, because he's 2nd at the minute, but Stevie's not pitted yet, he's the car ahead. He's not pitted yet, but obviously Stevie is a lap ahead of Bidzster, but remember, when doing a pit stop, you actually drop a lap. So Stevie then, not pitting yet. He'll pit at some point, but not yet. And Bradders and Neil then. Neil catches up to Bradders again. Let's see if Neil can do it this time. There he is in the AJ4 Enterprises car, behind Bradders. Right behind him. Is he going to go for the inside? He's having a little look to the inside. Is Bradders going to cover him off? Yes, he is. Bradders isn't making it easy for him. Lap 68 out of 90. Down towards turn 2. Again, and right behind him in the draft, but that turbulent air pushing him wide to the outside. Bradders keeps it tight to the inside, saying if you're going past me, sunshine, you're going the long way. And Bradders making it hard for Neil here. Into the corner. Remember, they've got Blaney just ahead to draft from, so that makes it even harder for Neil to pass, because Bradders is actually getting a speed boost as well as him. So Bradders still with Neil behind him, very close on track stuff here. Into turn 2, turn 1, sorry, into turn 1. Off we go, there we go. And they're actually closing on Blaney. They are closing on Blaney here. Let's go on board with Bradders here. They are closing up on Blake. So I think he goes a bit wide there. Let's see if Neil closes up. No, he can't quite yet. So Neil Farmack closes up to Bradders. And Stevie's in the pits, guys. Stevie's in the pits. There he is. Bidzster takes the lead. Stevie second for now until the end of the pit window. There's Bradders and Blake. Remember, Blake is... this is actually a battle for position, so it is Blaney, Bradders and Neil all very close together. They're closing up on Blake. Neil Farmack's almost into the back of Bradders' car. Very close to the back of him here. And into turn 1. Wide line for Neil. Wide line for Blake. Bradders goes to the inside. Bradders gets a good run on Blake here. He could actually try and pass him for second place. Into the corner we go. Into the inside. We're on the inside. Oh, he hits the white line. And he's hit the white line again. He's lost it. He's hit Blaney. Neil goes straight through the middle. How did he avoid that? Blaney's backwards. Bradders is keeps on going. But Bradders then makes the mistake. And now Blaney's got cars coming towards him. Oh, very close. Resets the car sensibly. But then, oh, Blaney will be livid. He gets going again best he can. But that was a very weird incident there. But we saw there Bradders lost control of the car, went towards the white line, and then came back, and then went back onto the track, and then went down to the white line again, and then moved, and then it went up and hit Blaney. So that was Bradders' mistake, hitting Blaney. So we'll see what the action is going to be after that, after the race. But there's no point seeing a replay on that, because we actually saw what happened from Neil's point of view very clearly indeed. So it's a shame that Blaney's out of the picture, but we are on board with Bradders following Neil. The battle for second place is still live. Bidzster in the lead of the race then, on to lap 76. Stevie behind in tow with Keith as well. They are on 4th and 6th, but they're just taking advantage of Bidzster's draft to try and pull them around the track a bit more. And meanwhile, Neil and Bradders still close together after that incident. Bradders still kept his momentum up. And Bradders still keeps momentum up. But Neil's lost it! Neil's lost control, big style, and loses control of the car. Where is he? There he is. He's backwards. He's got to spin the car around or reset the car. I'd reset the car if I were him, but no, he's trying to do some kind of 3-point turn here. So I'd have just pressed reset myself, but so make sure nothing's coming. Oh, Blaney coming. If I were Neil there, I'd just press reset. Press reset, Neil. It almost hits Bradders. I'd press reset there, Neil, or just try and turn around on the concrete bit to try and stop going onto the track. But Neil Farmack loses control, big style, and that gifts Bradders second place. Unless he loses it, Bradders is second for now. So the order in this race then is Bidzster in the lead. Bradders is in second place. Stevie is in third. He's in the tow behind Bidzster. He's a lap down. Blaney is 4th. Neil is 5th. And he's got Keith behind him. So Keith finally gets his battle. Yes, it's near the end of the race too, but he finally gets his battle. Let's see if he can keep up with Neil or even pass him. Let's go on board with Keith then. Here he goes. He's in the draft of Neil. He can smell places. Let's see if he can get through. So round the first corner, both taking a very similar line to Neil Farmack, and now he'll be in the, obviously he's got the draft, so we'll see if he can close up. He is visually there, you can see it just slightly closing up. The leader Bidzster is on lap 80. These guys are on lap 78, approaching 79. Now Bidzster's on 81, they're on 79, so 2 laps ahead is Bidzster. You can see Keith just trying to experiment with the lines behind Neil, trying to see which line's gonna help him most. I think the inside line will probably be the quicker one. So go for that one, then break it way to the inside. Just not going to the inside enough, but still sticking with Neil's draft. So all he needs to do really, stick with the draft, and they might be able to get the place. So good stuff there. And meanwhile, Stevie's right behind Bidzster there, and then we've got Neil Farmack and Keith. Let's watch Keith's car, because he's closing up to Neil there. You can see in 5th place. It's slowly closing, but you can't close too quick, because obviously the cars are near the top end speed anyway. So it's only a couple of miles an hour you're talking about when they actually get in the draft of another car. So it's not very, it doesn't close up very much, but all 4 cars in a line helping each other out. Keith's still trying to catch Neil Farmack. There he is, but Neil Farmack's closing up to the back of Stevie, because obviously he's using the draft from Stevie's car to pull away from Keith. I think Keith's just about losing the draft range here, but Neil Farmack's definitely in the draft range of Stevie. Remember, this isn't for position. The only one for position in this is Neil and Keith. The 2 cars at the back of this 4-car train. There's Neil Farmack's car, there's Keith's car. They're the 2 that are battling. Lap 82 for these boys. The leader of Bidzster is on lap 84. Remember, when Bidzster crosses the line, everyone that crosses the line behind him will actually finish the race. As Neil Farmack passes Stevie. As we go into the corner, down the straight, into the last corner here of closing up. Neil Farmack behind Bidzster, then Stevie just behind. Oh, Neil's lost it! Stevie hits him! Neil loses control. He's lost control of the car. Keith's down the bottom of the track. Not good for him. So it all happened there. Not good stuff, but still, one mistake causes the incident. But again, that was not anyone's fault really. Neil just made the mistake, and Stevie was in the Stevie was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it was just all happened at once. So it can happen like that sometimes in racing. One mistake and everyone piles on. But now Gummy Bear is he's behind Neil as well. So Gummy Bear closing up to Neil. Last glimmer of hope for Gummy Bear to actually gain a few places back. So sorry about the confusion there, ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to stop my dog from barking as well. So yes, I was trying to stop my dog from barking and commentate on the action and control the cameras as well. So I was trying to do 3 things at once. I can just about manage 2, but 3's a bit excessive. But Bidzster on lap 88 of 90. '99 now. Bradders then behind Bidzster. She's about to close up on track to him as well. Keith there in 5th. Neil 6th. Still got a few battles on track. Keith there in 5th place. Neil's trying to close up to him, but again, can't quite see the gap coming down. So Keith and Neil then close together on the last few laps. Bidzster's on his last lap of the race. Bidzster wins! He's crossed the line already. Bidzster wins the race. Well done to him. So everyone now behind will finish the race. So we're not going to keep up with all that. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay, guys, so after that then it is Bidzster who wins again. So Bidzster wins again here at Texas. Bradders gets an amazing 2nd place for himself. Brilliant job there from Bradders. Stevie finishes in 3rd. Then it is 4th for Blakeney. 5th is Keith. Neil finishes in 6th, and Gummy Bear finishes in 7th. Unfortunately, Johnny McMullen retired from the race. Okay guys, and now on to the points. It is Bidzster on 209 points in the lead of the championship from Stevie on 141. Then it is Neil on 136, Blake on 110, T-Wine on 92, Brad is 87, Keith 70, Callum on 64, Will 61, Gummy 35, and then it's 31 for Johnny and 16 for Growley. And the teams, AJ Foyt leading the way on 345, 180 for Andretti Autosport, 176 for Team Penske, and 153 for Dale Coyne Racing. So after that then, Bidzster wins the race. Well done to him, and we'll see you guys next time at Road America. Take care, guys.